All right, so we have a topic here which honestly I did not want to revisit, as every time I'm just going to get labeled as a Nike hater, but unfortunately, due to recent events which have transpired, I'm actually left here with no choice. So this clip that we're taking a look at here is from Nike Just Do It Day 2022, an annual celebration hosted in Nike's headquarters in Beaverton, Oregon. Now, of course, as this event, you have Nike employees, athletes, as well as musicians, performances from Drake, Travis Scott. But I think one of the most interesting events which did take place during that day was their current CEO, John Donahoe. He took to the center stage, getting on his knees, bowing down to Nike's co-founder, Phil Knight, essentially implying that he's not worthy of the position. Now, how do I know all of this? Well, it actually comes from a recently published Bloomberg article called "The Guy Who Made Nike Uncool." So let's back things up to a few years ago, 2021. We were just coming off of the pandemic. Nike stock was at an all-time high. The demand for their retro products was an all-time high. Nike also just introduced the Panda Dunk, a model which they had a very strategic release strategy for. You see, Nike planned to drop these in limited quantities, as well as continue to restock them in limited quantities, just enough to never meet that full demand, leaving everybody still trying to get their hands on these. It then had an effect where resale prices on this model went crazy. So Nike saw the demand and they responded by flooding the market with Panda Dunks, and a move that actually was great as far as their revenues. Their CEO John Donahoe said, quote, "The customer told us they wanted lifestyle product and we delivered." So with Nike flooding the market with Panda Dunks, it did great as their revenues reached an all-time high, but it also had a negative effect on the legacy of this model, which was once highly coveted by sneakerheads, has now completely turned into a meme.
All time.
I'm gonna have to say Pandas.
Okay.
So I feel like these Panda Dunks are an interesting case study as far as sneakerheads goes. As y'all see, when Nike implied their original limited release restock strategy, everybody wanted these joints. Resale value was going crazy. The Pandas were highly collectible, but once they flooded the market, as you see here, nobody wanted these joints and they reached meme status. So as far as the Panda Dunks, Nike doesn't want another situation like this. So it looks like they are back to their limited restock strategy, as we saw once again today. The Jordan 4 White Thunders restocked once again via Nike. Now, I don't know how many times they've restocked these joints, but as far as today's drop, we did see a full size run available for like 30 minutes, almost to an hour, for Nike just to pull the plug with another fake sellout. So you guys already know what that means. We're either gonna get another restock or they're gonna go ahead and send these joints to the outlet. So it looks like right now, a lot of people are pointing the finger at their CEO, John Donahoe, who actually doesn't happen to come from a sneaker background. He actually comes from the tech world, which is a far cry from Nike's previous CEO, Mark Parker, who was actually a designer who kind of made his way through the ranks, eventually landing at CEO. But unfortunately, due to like a little Me Too situation, he did have to step down. Now, as far as John Donahoe, he has more of like a tech background. So of course, he had the heavy emphasis on the push of direct to consumer. So rather than Nike, selling their products through all of their third-party retailers, he looked to pull the plug on a lot of those retailers, opting for a more direct-to-consumer strategy, releasing products directly through the Nike Sneakers app, as well as their Nike flagship stores, a move which Nike sees has came back to bite them, as a lot of their retail partners are now stacking up their shelves, which were once filled by Nike products. You're now seeing other products, starting to take the forefront, and customers are responding by trying out these new products. They're starting to like what they see. Word of mouth is spreading and people are starting to gravitate towards new models other than Nike. Now, at the same time, Nike, once known to be leaders for innovation in the industry under their previous CEO, Mark Parker, now under John Donahoe, it seems like rather than doubling down on their innovation, their new strategy was to double down on their classic lifestyle retro models. So we saw more releases for the Air Force One, more Dunk Low colorways dropping, as well as more pairs of the Jordan 1. It almost felt like every few days or so we had a new colorway dropping, and now even still to this day, that's how it feels. It feels like there's just too many releases just happening. Nike's just flooding the market with just more colorways of the same old model. And Nike did start to notice that at the end of last year, a lot of these products which were once selling out every time were now just sitting, and they actually had to readjust their forecast for the following year. So in response to the readjustment, John Donahoe, he decided to fire fire a whole bunch of Nike's employees. So at the beginning of this year, they laid off roughly 2% of their workforce, leaving like thousands of people out of work. On top of that, in direct response, a lot of Nike senior members, they went ahead and quit, leaving the door wide open for Nike's competition to go ahead and scoop up a lot of this talent. So we're talking Adidas, On Cloud, New Balance, Hoka. A lot of their former Nike senior members are now employed by Nike's direct competitors. And at the same time, Adidas and Ye broke up. So with Adidas losing one of their biggest cash cows, Nike was probably like, who cares about innovation when we could just coast through everything? People are just gonna buy up all of our models. A move which it looks like came to bite Nike back, as this summer in June, it was reported that Nike had its worst day in the stock market since going public in 1980. So let's go ahead and take a look here at this chart, which they refer to as the Donahoe dip. So as you guys see here, ever since Nike's founding in the 80s, their stock has continued to gradually rise all the way up until their peak here in 2021, which was the release, actually ironically, of the Panda Dunk. And ever since then, we've started to see a little decline here, where it looks like Nike is starting to begin to kind of bottom out. Now, it's also very important to note that Nike continues to be the leaders in the industry. They're light years ahead of the competition, and they have been for decades. So as far as Nike's closest competitor, Adidas, they brought in like less than half of the annual revenue that Nike produced. So as y'all see, Nike is light years ahead. They're the big dogs, but this is a important lesson to make note that all giants eventually can fall. And with Nike, we'll see what the future holds for them. I think one of their biggest criticisms would have to be their innovation. And as far as what Nike plans to bring to the market, as far as their new product, we have yet to see that. It looks like they're just still continuing to drop new colorways of retros. It looks like next year they're opening up the floodgates as they're bringing back so many classics out the vault, a move which sneakerheads seem to be very excited about, a chance to be able to grab all of these classic grails. But again, they have yet to answer the question, what's gonna be their new hot product? What's the new innovation? It looks like we're just gonna have to wait on that one. So I may come across as a Nike hater, and although I sort of kind of am, well, I'm just playing, y'all. I'm a kid that grew up wearing nothing but Nikes and Jordans, but it's like, how many years of your life can you continue to rock the same model? I mean, there is a whole new gang of brand of sneakers out there for you guys to just waiting to try on. So if you're one of those people that have been just wearing nothing but Nike and Jordan products for your entire life, I would definitely suggest to venture out, try something new. You may actually just like it. So as far as today's Jordan 4 White Thunder release, now I know everybody's gonna be in the comments like, JA, them joints sold out, but y'all, they're doing it right in front of our face. These are fake sellouts. Unfortunately, you know, I hate to say it, but these White Thunders are bricks. I know like that's infamous to say, but as far as like the resale value when it comes to this sneaker, there is none. And that's cool because every sneaker doesn't have to have resale value. We're starting to come to a point now where people are just starting to appreciate the sneakers for what they are. As you guys see, not a lot of shoes hold resale value like that anymore. So it's kind of one of those things where a whole bunch of people like jumped into the sneaker game during COVID, you know, jumping on the resale wave. But now that that resale shit is out the door, same with these sneakerheads. So it's kind of getting back to the essence, like where people are just buying what they like. So let me know what you guys think. And as far as Nike's new innovative product, I'm still have yet to see what they got in store for us here for the future. So make sure you guys drop all your feedback here in the comment section. Now, before we bounce, I did want to mention the poll of the day, which I felt like tied in very well with today's topic. I simply asked you guys, how many years have you been wearing Jordans for? I know a lot of y'all been rocking Jordans your entire life, just as I mentioned. So we had roughly 1.5 thousand votes, in which the majority of you guys said that you've been rocking Jordans for over 20 years plus. 33% of everybody that participated in this poll, where second place coming in at 20%, you guys said you ain't rocking Jordans like that. So I thought this poll was very fitting and very interesting as well, you know, how it all ties into today's topic. So it seems like you guys are loving your Nike products. You guys are tied with the nostalgia, the storytelling. It all comes together, and it seems like you guys just like your classic Jordans like that and aren't looking to switch things up. So I guess people ain't really looking for change like that. So appreciative to everybody that participated in the poll, which if you guys are ever looking to jump on one of these polls, you can always find them via the community tab here for this channel. So I'm JA, guys. We're gonna wrap it up here on this topic. If you enjoyed, please help support the channel by smashing that like button, and I'm out, y'all. Stay Stay safe, stay blessed. Till next time, love.